Welcome back to Breakfast Television. So happy to have with us on the BT Couch our latest BT Montreal influencer, Antoinette DiCarlo, fashion designer extraordinaire. DiCarlo Couture is taking over the world. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we are going to be talking about who you are, but we've got to talk about the big latest splash. You are responsible for Jessica Mulroney's stunning royal blue dress at Meghan and Harry's wedding. I know that you had to keep it under wraps. I know it was a secret, but can you sort of tell us what that meant to you to finally see it come together and then right there with Meghan Markle?
Well, it was quite the procedure in getting it all together. Of course, making the connection initially with Jessica Mulroney, who's a huge ambassador to Canadian fashion. I'm so appreciative for having been the chosen one to design her dress and for her trusting me to design her dress for such a major occasion. So we had several fittings back and forth, Montreal, Toronto, and every time we met there was always a different inspiration. So we tweaked and refined the design every time. We really honed in on the details to get the right fit.
So you see her coming out of that car, right? Yeah. Behind her is Catherine Middleton, right? Meghan's not far behind. What happens to you in that moment where you finally see it coming together?
It becomes reality. So it's the excitement of having worked on it for a few months, and then when you see it happening, it's the actual reality. It's like, okay, it's happening. It's here.
The heart goes pitter patter.
Yes, it's very exciting. It is.
So, Antoinette, tell us a little bit about sort of growing up in Montreal and the people who inspired you, because Montreal used to be this mecca for craftsmanship, for artisanship, for really detailed beading and lace. That's your savoir-faire, your expertise, and then it all sort of disappeared, right, as fashion moved to Asia. But you've persisted in this and turned this into a career. So how did this all come together?
Well, my background to begin with, growing up, my parents were in the needles trade. So I was exposed at a very young age. I was the kid that used to spend her summers working with her parents. When I wasn't in school, I used to every day really see the whole procedure. I was around cutters, sewers, pattern makers, tons of fabric. So I really got to see what it took to bring together a collection and produce and deliver a collection. So it taught me a lot of resilience, and it taught me a very strong work ethic.
And then here we are, right? And as we're seeing in some of these images, this is a different way. This is not fast fashion. This is slow. It is detailed. And it has received, you've dressed so many celebrities. You've dressed Tracy Moore, by the way, City's own Tracy Moore. And we've seen you on different red carpets as well. What do you think sets your couture apart from any other line? So what sets DiCarlo apart?
So it's the design aesthetic. It's the layering of fabrics, the choice of fabrics, putting together these fabrics in ways that we wouldn't normally see. So it's about honing in on that originality.
Yeah, and so after this royal wedding, right, I asked you off camera, what's been the response, right? People, I'm sure, are very curious. People want the dress. But in terms of exposure, what does that mean for you?
Oh, it's definitely brought increased traffic on our social media platforms. Our website has received quite a few hits as a result of people who didn't normally know about the brand now do.
So you talked about Jessica Mulroney being a great ambassador for Canadian fashion, but you now are an ambassador for Montreal fashion. Has it hit you yet that you're inspiring up-and-coming designers? Are you ready to accept that about yourself, that you have become an influencer for our younger, maybe new people coming out of fashion school right now?
Well, it is quite fresh at the moment, so it is starting to hit me, and it's such a pleasure to be influencing people who are coming out of fashion school, because I know what it's like.
It's not easy, right?
It's really not easy. It takes quite the determination to get to and stay focused. Of course, you have to pick a focus and work towards it every day, regardless of all the surroundings.
Yeah. Regardless of how someone can choose to buy something fast fashion,
exactly,
or can invest in a timeless piece, like yours. Thank you so much for sitting with us. I'm sure this is going to be an insane rest of the year for you. Antoinette DiCarlo, one of our BT Montreal influencers, continued success, and hopefully one day I get one of her dresses as well. I'm coming to see you. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Stay tuned. You're watching BT only on City.